Hi, this is Osman. I'm an energy healer, yoga meditation teacher, and an entrepreneur. And please be sure to visit my website, yogawellness786.com, for more discussions on contemporary methods that are trending today from an ancient sciences perspective, and which can resolve your current day problems and trending with solutions and gaining popularity and interest among most of my followers. Also remember that I'm offering natural therapies, and these are based on ancient sciences together with a combination of latest modern innovative scientific researches. However, they are not a replacement for medical treatment. If you have a medical condition or ailment, please be sure to consult with a qualified and licensed medical professional in your locality. Okay, so today I wanted to discuss the question of yoga and meditation leading to uh, energy and consciousness. So the subject matter is actually the transition from energy to consciousness. And what exactly does that mean? So with the yoga and meditation practice or the yoga system, it is a tool that is designed to be a form of a systematic exercise as well as practices, habits that is designed to awaken the dormant capacities of every human, that he is born with. So every person, if you are human, you have something different from the animal kingdom in that you have the capacity to awaken that which is of higher nature within you. So actually, it's as though the best comparison is as though you have a tree with a few basic lights, to get you, to see the outline of the tree and where the tree actually is at night. And then come Christmas time, you have it fully decorated with lights all around the tree, and you switch it on and the entire tree lights up. So similarly, the body is by default, it's just got a few basic energy systems in that are active. And when you start practicing the science of yoga, then you start to awaken all the dormant capacities, and your body lights up like a Christmas tree, so to speak, right? So everything lights up, all your energy centers starts to get activated. So you have by default 114 relevant energy systems or major energy centers that are within the immediate purview of your body. Actually, 112 fall within the region of your body, and another two fall slightly above the crown area. There's one here and one slightly up there. These make up the 114, but they're not limited to that. There are still a further a minimum of 99 more above that level, that you transcend to regions that are beyond description of word or thought. And we won't get into that. So by default, when you are born, according to the yoga sciences, you have by default 21 energy centers out of the 114 that are active to support basic life survival requirements. So the requirement to think using your mind and your frontal cortex, intelligence, and the functioning of your organs, and all your muscle groups, and your breathing processes and heart rate and so forth. So these, with the 21 essential energy centers, is sufficient to carry out basic survival and regular, basic living needs on a primitive level. So everyone by default, currently, as much as technology is advancing and the world is advancing, but the humanity, your humane nature, the nature within you, your inherent potential and power is on an extremely primitive level, and comparable to, say, stating that your phone is on power saver mode, right? So you are under 20%. Once your battery level is under 20%, your phone has an option to go into power saver mode, and just the basic functions are carried out, and the more intricate functions are, switched off or made dormant, right? So, so coming back to the question of from energy to enlightenment, right? Or from energy to consciousness, right? So when we say from energy or from anything to consciousness, means consciousness is a destination and hasn't been reached yet, right? It's a journey towards the consciousness, which is a very profound reference, that you are currently on such a low level of consciousness that is considered not consciousness at all. It's considered more like a dream state, and not even wakefulness. So even to say you are in power saver mode is making a massive overestimation of the level you are currently in by default. And by the practices of yoga, you are on the journey to start awakening your consciousness. And it's not just a destination that is so far out that one never knows whether one is going to reach it or experience it. Actually, once you start the practices, the correct method, you will have intermittently few experiences of that consciousness level, to give you an idea of what it is, and that an indication that the path you are following is correct and your discipline is substantive enough. So you get messages or experiences that give you an and it's called something called an inner conjunction. So many people who are on a rigid or disciplined daily practice, and practicing it consistently, for a reasonable period of time, 2 to 5 years or more, of necessity they experience some amazing levels, as well as the consciousness itself, or the experience of the consciousness and the wakefulness. So when we say from energy to consciousness, what is from energy? Energy, so everyone has got, as I mentioned, default levels of energy, but by the practice of yoga, you start to awaken the higher levels of your dormant life force energy. So, to compare, even to say 20% is too much of an estimation. To say a fraction of a percentage is what you are using compared to the full power that you have inside you. It is usually based and dormant and how can we say, I don't want to say asleep, because it means you're not alive. It's not asleep, it is in a dormant state, but it is gathered and collected and resting. It's in a restful state in the region around the base of the spine, or slightly in that region. So it's whether it actually lives in the last vertebral digit, or the vertebral bone at the very base of the spine, or in that region, because my experience has been that it is theoretically stated to be in the root chakra, or the base of the spine, or the root chakra is not in the base of the spine, it's near the base of the spine. It is in the perineum area, like the point of a needle point. You feel a very small point. Every other chakra is quite big in size, from a fist size to a ball, like a basketball size. Especially the solar plexus chakra is you feel it, quite big, vibrating. You feel it moving and turning. But the root feels like a pinpoint, and it's like a sharp little point, but massive amounts of power, and comparable to 1 billion volts of electricity. It's like an electrical charge in nature. And that's the energy, the development of that energy. And once that energy develops, your body also transforms or gains the capacity to withstand that energy more and more as it goes to higher and higher levels, because it cannot awaken, in its complete energetic level. It will pop your body, all the cells, and you will not be able to, remain alive, because it will be an overload of energy, right? Massive. Overload is, and underestimate. It's really not even saying what it really is. But it develops incrementally as your body develops, and that period can take many years, even decades, right, to completely develop it, depending on the method you use, and how disciplined you are in the practice, and how much time you dedicate on a daily basis towards it, right? And but it cannot happen overnight, right? It takes a few years, right? um, I would say an average of around 10 years, right, to develop it. If you're going to spend about 2 hours a day with some specific kriya designed especially for that energy to develop. So when they say from energy to consciousness, as it develops, and when the energy is reaching its highest level, it's it's like the substantive sufficient energy that is required to ignite or kickstart the higher function of the brain, which is inside, it's in the top region of the head, right? It collects there, and that seems to be the power center. It seems to need a very high voltage in order to activate. And no matter how high the lower levels are, it doesn't activate until it receives the full level. And the reason it cannot activate is because it takes time for your body to adjust to the incremental increases in that energy levels. So when someone says from energy to consciousness, this is what it means. So be sure to visit my website, yogawellness786.com, and take care of yourself always.